they go right here. They are type it. It has to be typed. So I can't write it. As soon as you get a period, just type it. On the library. Don't write a library on the so get up wherever you need to consider. Yeah. I'm gonna know early in the morning. Right now. I'm gonna turn it in. It's mine. Probably got a lot. It's either this opposite. I just got from the end of the morning. I'm gonna get on giving the phone thinking about the home. If you got me good you good. I can turn it in. I win. I'm like an adult. I am. And be respectful. Of course. Everything you give me is green. I'm not giving him the green. You know.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I don't know how long I'm gonna do it because we all know Art New Style got his thing going. So bear with me. There's some things I gotta talk about, or at least I feel like talking about for right now. Because ultimately, people ask me about the Tyreek Hill thing. Um, Tyreek Hill thing was a little sketchy on both sides, man. Little sketchy, little much, little much, if you ask me. I think that shit could have been handled a lot better. Shit could have been handled way better. That's what I personally think. Whoa! I think that is a monster where two adults could have handled that situation tons better. And this is average, especially when you're dealing with a multi-million dollar athlete. You're dealing with money, and money changes things. You know, I just think that it should have been handled differently and respectfully. You shouldn't have an entitled athlete saying, "Give me my ticket, and so I can be done with it." Like, look, dude, you'd have been real fucked up in the game if you would have got arrested, and your name would have been mud in the news. But at the same time, it's something about. I'm gonna put it out there. This is the reason why I've been taught as a young boy since then. Not everybody has your best interest at heart. Okay, not everybody. Not a lot of people have your best interest, man. Sorry, not everybody has your best interest. And what usually comes about it is that you have other races of people who want to join your causes and say, "Oh, we suffering. We know how it feels to be picked on. We know how it feels to be undermined, to have prejudice against us." But when it comes to black people in America, or fundamentally black Americans, ADOS, whatever you want to call us, Negroes, my niggas and my niggerettes, nobody treats us with that same respect we give them. And I think that's fundamentally our fatal flaw. That at some point you do have to be kind of a separatist, and there's nothing wrong with being such, in my opinion, at certain points. At certain points, you're going to have to think about me and mines, because that's what everybody else does to you. It's their kids before your kids being fed, so what's the shame in that? Stop thinking everybody's got the same problem. Just because you got another ethnic group does not mean you're part of that group. Hell, let's look at Africans for, Africans will sell you out as well. Is it every? No. But Africans are ultra tribal, and they'll tell you you could be from the same country, literally have no genetic differences, but if you're not part of that tribe, you're not part of that tribe. And they're not ashamed to say it. They're not ashamed to say it. So when you're looking at that Hispanic officer typically is going to have very white leanings, very white leanings. Everybody wants the cool parts about being black except the being black part. Get what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down. Everybody loved blackness until you got to stretch. Hey, are you? Hey, Ivory, Snowman, Blood Boiling. Playing a little Call of Duty while I'm speaking to y'all. Hopefully, y'all been enjoying some of my Call of Duty videos. If you haven't seen them, go watch them. I'm gonna talk to my buddy Josh so I can actually learn how to do some speaking functions on them, and give you some very funny commentary. But that's the one thing that always really got to me for a very long time. How we're quick to include everybody in our struggles, but nobody wants to include us in their victories. Okay, there's so many times you'll have people come out and fundamentally tell you, "Kiss my ass." Kind of lighting people up right now. So, excuse me. So you gotta really realize that you got these guys who are gonna play racial politics with you, and I'm talking about the whole Tyreek Hill thing. I don't care nobody says they're gonna play the racial politics. Everybody's going through their struggles too. So your struggle is not my struggle, and that's basically what it is. A respect thing should have been had from Tyreek with the officers, and when you look at it, why are you going to put your knee on somebody's back during a time like this for policing? This makes no fucking sense. No fucking sense. Why are you going to throw him on the floor? If he gets injured and he's worth hundreds of millions, you would have lost your job. You would have ostracized, man. Stupid shit. Over ego. Ego will get a man killed quicker than anything else. I don't care what you say. I've seen more people die of ego than any other dangerous phenomenon in the world. The stupid part about it could have been a very quick conversation. Very quick. Would have needed no arguments, no nothing. If you felt that they mistreated you in some way, get a lawyer, sue the department. And you got the money and the backing to make that a reality. So, in an everyday fundamental world, you had all the advantages. Rest in peace, Tito Jackson, yesterday. Sheesh. Now we have a second Trump assassination attempt. There's a reason why guys like BGS say he hates talking about domestic politics. And for all you people who don't understand the gist of that, I'm going to tell you very much why in plain English. Americans, especially black Americans, are too goddamn emotional when it comes to politics. You prey upon emotionalism. I don't like him. Ask the average black person this question. Why do you like this? Why do you like this political party? Why do you like this candidate? Ask that question. And fundamentally, what are you going to get? Emotionalism. You'll never hear any parties, anything less. You'll never hear of any party. You'll never say, well, they were pretty good at getting us civil rights. No, you'll never hear that. You'll never hear that. You'll never hear anything logical. You'll hear nothing but emotionalism. God knows, emotionalism kills us all. Why do you need emotional men? Why? You're just emotionalists. Just say you just don't like a certain person because you're emotional. They're emotional. You wonder why they're bringing in the migrants, little immigrants. They don't owe them shit. They're thankful for them spitting on the ground just for them to have something to eat. And fundamentally, if black people actually wanted any either Republican or Democratic Party to do anything for them, certain demands will be made. But fundamentally, what do you force them to do? What do you force them to do? You don't even hold them accountable to what they tell you to do. You're part of a political party that pretty much said that the gays and everybody else mean more to us than you, even though you have more numbers than them, even though you have way more numbers than them, even though everybody who's gotten their civil rights in this country owes a gratitude to you and your people. But what have you done? What have you received? Especially towards black men. Come on now. Come on now. What have you received? What did you get out of it? So you realize what's up? I just think it's pitiful. Especially if I tell black people, well, anybody but Trump. Anybody but Trump. I don't even say you gotta like Trump or you gotta vote for him. Tell me what the hell you have to tell me what are you getting out of voting for Kamala? If you're already complaining about all the issues we're having in the government today. What are you getting out of it? Tell me. I wonder where black people are gonna sit down and say, you know what? We're our own greatest enemies. We need to stop this shit. need to stop it. But you know what happens? We don't want to admit that we failed. We don't want to admit that we failed. We don't want to admit that, we're politically ignorant. We take too many cues from women. We do things just to please our women. Oh, you can't make her mad. If you make her mad, you might not get any pussy. And that's what you politically are, the political pussy hound. A political pussy hound. You gotta love it. As long as there's pussy politics on the table, we'll take them. I'll be goddamn, bro. Gotta do something for the cause. Knowing goddamn well that listening to your women has gotten you what? Voting your woman's side has gotten you what? What has it got you? You're the least educated, but you're the most dedicated. I want you to figure that out. Real slow. Really slow. I want you to figure that shit out. Why are we the least respected? So that Asian dude said you vote Republican, that's what that woman's gonna do. That's what that woman gonna do. I don't know if you've been on TikTok and you saw that song. That's not your nigga. That's not your nigga. That's not your nigga. I want to come out with a response. That's not your bitch. That's not your bitch. That's not your bitch. You have no authority over her actions. You can't even tell that bitch, don't give me my kids. You can't even tell her to, I want to see my kids. And then you got the cornball audacity to say we need black men. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck out of here. We're gonna sit here and pretend like we're having a grand old time in the black community politically. A grand old fucking time. Then you literally have Kamala Harris. Once again, Killer Kamala. Killer Cam. Come through like nobody fucking other. I want you to realize this shit, right? I want you to realize this shit. want you to realize this shit. What do you get out of a Kamala Harris administration? That's scaring the fuck out of black women. What do you get out of it? What are you getting out of a Kamala Harris administration that's scaring the fuck out of the women? What are you getting out of it? And these are questions I would ask the people who are cool with or close friends. What the fuck do you get out of a Kamala Harris administration? I'm waiting for anybody to give me the fucking skinny on that shit. Because pressure needs to be built up. A lot of dudes need to really stop fucking simping. Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of dudes are doing a lot of dudes are basically doing a simp vote. Is it every for Kamala? No. No. I regret the day where people look at this space and say, you know what? You motherfuckers were right about a lot of shit. Because I'm having a lot of friends who thought I was sexist, who thought I was wrong. I thought I was crazy 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And now they're like, damn, I see every goddamn thing you said, Charles. You were right. Calculations, it's very hard to make calculations like that pretty much wrong. You had a group of the so called educated, can't think, can't respect. So the most diabolical motherfuckers you'll ever meet. This ain't even hatred. You know what? It's not even a hate thing anymore. It's a why should I thing. Why should I give a fuck? Why should I give a fuck? I'm not protecting what doesn't want to come under my protection. If I can't tell you what to do, then I don't need to save you. I don't need to save shit. Fundamentally, black men need to start saying that. Stop being a bunch of fucking cowards. You're right. Remember that live stream I did a year or two ago? Either I lead or I lead. I take no enjoyment being responsible for some bullshit. I take no enjoyment being responsible for bullshit. A hard-headed woman has no place with me. Bitch can't do nothing for me but send me to an early grave. And we need to stand on that shit. Never be afraid to stand on some business for once in your life. That's what the fuck we need to be on. That's what a lot of young black men need to be on, standing on business. The problem is you got a lot of mamas talking about, well, you know, if you don't treat a woman right, she ain't gonna do this. Well, guess what? She wasn't gonna do it anyway, so get the fuck out of here. Wasn't gonna do it anyway. Pussy ain't the end all be all. Trust me, I had plenty of it. I tell anybody, the mating dating world right now sucks like a motherfucker. What do you get out of it? Bunch of motherfuckers who really don't give a fuck about you. That's about it. Bunch of motherfuckers who think you ought to kiss their ass. Bunch of people that don't fucking think that you're worthy enough to be respected. That's what the fuck you want? Like what do I get for the cost of my life? Man, tell me something, nigga. Do I even get basic respect? Like back in the day, like basic cable. Do I even get basic cable? Do I even get the channels? Do I get the channels? Do I get the channels? You're not getting anybody that loves you for who you are. You're getting people who want you for what you can do. I could tell you one thing, black man. I don't think you should be. I don't think you should fundamentally give a fuck anymore. You should not fundamentally give a fuck anymore. It's doom and gloom. No, no, no. Explain to me what you're getting out of it. Explain to me what you get out of it. And then when you ask for the deal, you don't even get the damn thing. You don't get the goddamn thing. You don't get shit out of it. But let me go back to that Trump second assassination attempt. I'm going to say this from a law enforcement background, executive protection background. That's some bullshit. Some major bullshit. That's some major bullshit. You can't protect a former sitting president, and this is going on in y'all watch. I know there's some things that happen to be out of control, but god damn, really? You're using all these DEI fucking agents to fucking pass an agenda, and instead of getting the best qualified, you're gonna get motherfuckers killed. You never hear women argue over qualifications. You always hear, why do men always got to do it? Because guess what's gonna happen when you fuck up? It's usually gonna be a man to fucking take over. It's usually gonna be a man to take over that shit and fix it. You know, the same way you want a man to come fix your fucking broken families. I know I said it. I said it. I said it. Same type of nigga you want to fix your bullshit. Same way you want a man to fucking utilize so he can fix your broken dreams, raise your fucked up children. That type of nigga, right? I mean, think about all these female politicians around the country. Just as fucked up, corrupt, unjustly, unfair. Look at that shit. Watch out. Unreliable motherfuckers, man. Just unreliable, unsanctified, destructive. Think about it. Back in the day, women used to be the moral compass, right? Now, you, you, I remember when women used to be somewhat dainty, man. Now you want to listen to Sexy Red and be on some hoe shit. But yet, men can't do that. You don't want men to do the same shit. Well, there's a lot of men who, there's a lot of men who need it. Nah, shorty. You want somebody to accept your hoe shit, but not have any authority. I get it. I truly do. I truly do. You want the best possible deal. I truly get it. But the least you can do, and I do mean the least you could do, is actually make it worthwhile. You want to be on bald head hoe shit? Cool. Cool. At least be honest about it. And this is what I gotta say for the men. Stop trying to make these bitches housewives. They don't want it. They don't want it. Triple kill, yeah, man. Stop forcing them to be housewives if they don't want to be. That's where I actually have to agree with them. That you can't turn an unrighteous woman righteous. That's like turning a bum of a man into a world beater. The fuck we get that from? We're trying to make superheroes out of fucking villains. That's how fucking confused this whole shit is now. You want Lex Luthor to be Superman. At some reason, you got to tell them. It's like trying to pull a chick's number. At some point, you got to be like, "Hey, she doesn't like me." Reality has to sit in. Reality has to sit in. You know what the problem with that is? Too many people do not like it. You know why these chicks can ask for all these extravagant things? Because there's some dumbass who is actually willing to do it. You're dumb enough to do it, then have at thee. If there's, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna get a better deal when you actually figure out this one bit of information I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna drop it hard. My friend and I, we like collecting, comic book paraphernalia, anime shit, figures. It's no secret. So you figure out one thing about collecting. You're either the person who loves it for nostalgia, or you try to sell. You try to sell to make, you collect to sell to resell. And you notice this one thing: no matter how much something is valued, is there somebody willing to pay for it? Regardless of what you think you're worth, is there somebody willing to pay for it? This comic book may be worth $1,200, but I got only $750 in my pocket. Take it or leave it. I'm worth Ruth Chris, but I only have the ability to pay for Cheesecake Factory. I mean, it's just that easy, man. You may be valued at this, but guess what? What is that person willing to pay for? Well, here's the thing about Zod. Zod was never truly evil, was he? The only reason you're the villain is because you have an ideological difference from the so-called protagonist. So that being said, let's look at this even further, right? In order to feed your family, you got to feed your kids first, right? Is it truly evil that I think I'm gonna feed my child before yours? See, we're going into some real black pill shit right now. Should my children eat before yours? See, women are given free reign to be black pill right now. Free reign. And you know what the disgusting part about it is? They don't want you to do the same to them. They want it only one sided. What's fair is fair. You want me to pay some exorbitant price for your pussy? Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that shit. But this is what you need to realize. I should be able to do the same shit. Should be an open air market. Open air market. I have to, if you threaten me without having sex, guess what? I should have a side chick waiting on the hotline. If you don't want to do what I say, you get replaced. I get to replace you for a week. How about that? How about that? You want it one sided, so hey, let's go one sided. Let's make it fair. Let's go into this relationship without emotions. How about that? Why not do that? Let's go into this as a contract. Let's be fair. Well, you really want a paternity test? Think of how fucked up women gotta be not to give you a paternity test, not to like that shit. Why don't you want to give men paternity tests? Hmm. And notice who are the biggest people against it? Women. Because women know what? They know women's nature. Women know women's nature. Because they know we shouldn't trust them. They know how fucked up their character really is, how selfish they can be, how narrow minded they are. Think about it, the difference between men and women when it comes to power. Men want power to make things better for people, women want power to make things better for them. When we get power, it's supposed to make it a better life for everybody. When they do it, for me and only me, you never hear of a woman say, I'm going to get this degree and I'm going to take care of my man. I'm going to get this job making a whole bunch of money and take care of my man. When you hear that shit, they don't even want to spend money on you. You're supposed to be with women that ration out pussy to you. But you spend all the money, make all the sacrifices, take on all the stress, do all the protecting, and the only thing you're supposed to get is a big piece of chicken. Think of how low they think of you. Well, they want a white woman who's fit, who's this, and it's not a lot of. What's wrong, and why shouldn't you be able to be fit? But it goes back into how I've said this many times: how your women view you is how society views you. It's impossible for your women to like you if they see you as less than. It's impossible to be respected. But that's wrong, Charles. You know, that's messed up. She's going through something. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? You gotta understand the stress of being a single mother. Then why do it? Why put yourself through that total fucking stress? Tell me something logically, please. What's up, Simply Deep? I just think that you want men to really get back into this bullshit. Offer something better. Offer something better. But no, Charles, you gotta understand. She needs help. She's been like this by herself all the time. Okay, that's cool. Just give us a fair deal. If we're not gonna get the fair deal, then the fuck? At least give us that shit. But, you know, we don't have any demands that are worth respect. No dignity. I'm doing all right. always said, you got the most simplistic dude out there in the world, and you can't even please him. That's gonna be a hard sell for a lot of people. It's gonna be very hard for a lot of people, man. Very hard. And believe it or not, I want a lot of chicks to win, man. I actually do want chicks to win. I just, I don't know. I'm just looking at them like, yo, you don't give a fuck anymore. But you know how that goes. We're not supposed to live in reality anymore, folks. That's just me ranting and raving. It's going to be just as hard for people out there living in today's society that you're going to deal with lunacy. You're supposed to take whatever the fuck people give you. You're not supposed to have any say in your shit. You're not supposed to have a mind of your own. I tell a lot of you, man. A lot of you really need to start looking to go elsewhere. Personally, I don't see where you win in this situation anymore. That's just me personally. You got to develop into yourself and be at your own happiness. Well, to answer your question, I truly hope not. Sorry about that. Muted myself. I'm gonna say this. I'm afraid that we don't. You think shit is scarce now? You think shit is expensive now? What do you think is gonna happen if a world war break out? You don't live to yourself. You don't die to yourself. Thank you for the $10 holla from Electrician 480. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very, very direct. Resources are gonna have to go fund the war effort. That's always how it's been. Your housing's gonna get more expensive. Your food's gonna be more scarce. All those resources are gonna have to come from somewhere. There's no infinite source. As we've been figuring out, a lot of shit in this world have become finite. A lot of shit in this world is finite. And unfortunately, a world war is going to really fuck us over, especially the common man. This is the reason why I've said for the longest time, get your tactical skills up, get your survival skills, learn how to make jars, of survival food if necessary. Teach your family these skills because look what's happening. What I really think is going to hit America more is that you're getting more of these South American gangs who are bringing a lot of this third worldism into America. Yeah, we have gangs and shit like that, but it's a little bit different. These motherfuckers become harder than hard, and they're taking over apartment complexes, blocks, small towns, extorting them for money. How do you control that? How do you control that? Especially with liberalism. And I like to quote the great UFC champion, Don Fry. America's so feminized. Next year, we're more likely to wear purses and high heels. I'll just keep it down there. And think about it. The average young man, does he know how to change a tire? What's going to happen when you're raised by a single mother who doesn't know how to do these things? See, men make shit look so easy that women think they can emulate it, and that's part of the problem. We don't ask for our wages up front. We don't ask for our wages. We should ask for our fair share. We should train. We should be in the best possible shape. There's no excuse. I'm not saying you got to look like you're going to be a bodybuilder or anything like that, but goddamn, try to be capable. Thanks.
We're gonna put that.
Like that. But World Wars, oh my god, if we get one of those, man. Look how heavy the Iraq War was. Look how heavy Afghanistan was. Look at what Ukraine. Look how much money Ukraine by itself in 2 years drained us. Do you really want a world war? Should we even? It's kind of funny, right? When Kamala Harris is trying to use it as a flex that Dick Cheney endorses her, that should already tell you what type of shit she's on. That should already tell you. They're part of the warmonger economy. That warmonger economy is a son of a bitch, isn't it? Oh yeah, the energy costs. The energy cost alone, and you being a scientist yourself, you know that right now we're getting drained. We're trying to actually we're trying to find different ways on how to cut our costs, man. You got people who are American citizens who can't even afford to live in their own homes. And somehow, some way we're supposed to be this country that gives every goddamn thing to people, and you're putting these people who are asylums under asylum, these migrants, immigrants, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and they're doing this to American people. Come on now. This tells you the Democratic Party doesn't give a fuck about Americans anymore. They just give a fuck about the policy. I respect it though. Don't like it, but I respect it. Gotta stay the course of stupidity, man. Gotta stay the course. What do I think about the Shannon Sharp incident? Um, you want me to get? Y'all really want me to speak on that shit? Because I have my own thoughts. Give me a woo in the chat if you really want me to talk about that part. I'll talk about it if you want me to. Yeah, energy impacts anything, and if you don't have enough fuel to fuel your ships, your tanks, your fighter jets. All right, this is my opinion on the Shannon Sharp incident. It's a two-pronged thing. Number one, it keeps everybody from calling him gay, and two, because you know a bunch of those dumbass rumors were coming about. And number two, he was advertising. He was selling. You know, social media. You know, he like hired to sell sparks, man. He's getting a big, whole lot of money selling those sparks, man. You know, Chad. I was one of them sparks, man. I was one of them sparks. You forget a lot of these celebrities give a fuck about people's thoughts about them. They give too much of a fuck about what people think about them. The identity. It's a lot of identity politics, man. If you're not part of the LGBT community, you don't want to be. No matter how accepting it is to be gay. And you're trying to pull off the image as a manly man. That doesn't make sense. You're a Hall of Fame football player. You're even at 55, you're very muscular. You got this manly image about you. It's not a good thing. So when we look at these situations, we got to say to ourselves, who benefits? I don't even get me started on unguarded. So yeah, generators are going to be fucking expensive, man. I'm gonna tell you what. You may have to invest into some shit that you may never think that you need. There's a lot of shit that I've told y'all. Like, look, I know we all peaceful people. We love our people. We want to be peaceful. We want to be very calm and collective. But guess what? At the end of the day, you're gonna have to protect yourselves. You may not. This is coming to the point where I'm gonna say it. You may or may not be able to rely on the police where you are, especially when it comes to these migrant issues. If you haven't noticed, you may not be able to rely on them, and you damn sure know that for goddamn sure you're gonna have to do some good old fashioned defending yourself. especially if you live in some places where we call this very dangerous. Think about that, especially for people who live on an apartment complex. My God, the fuck are you doing? You're in dangerous territories, man. Dangerous territories. Dangerous territory, my dude. Your government has literally sold you out, people. I've said that. The governments have sold you out. Get used to it. You are no longer worthy. Your opinions never matter. Let's be fucking real. When you got people cutting open birds from the park, stealing cats, what the fuck does that tell you? The fuck does that tell you? And I know it may sound like some fear mongering shit. I'm gonna warn you. The more you take this shit lightly, the more people are gonna get killed. You're gonna get people killed. All for what? For some votes? For some policy? For some goddamn policy, man. For some goddamn policy. Think of it. I want you to think about this. It was more important for them to get transgenders to read to kindergartners than to get you reparations. Think about that. It was more important to get them rights. It's more important to teach homosexuality to little kids than to get you reparations. And that's your answer, folks. That's what it comes down to. That's what the hell it comes down to. It is more important for me to pass these agendas. Of course it is. And excuse me. Don't forget to hit the super, not the super chat, but the cash app. Because I'm going to tell you a lot of shit that a lot of buddies of mine who are still in have said to me. Well, of course they're embedded. Of course. Espionage is a motherfucker, okay? To believe these terrorist cells and other entities are not embedded within the United States while we have open border issues is to be fucking stupid. It's to be fucking stupid. Espionage has been played very well since WW2. So I want you to think about this. Let's go back to 9/11. How long were those guys within the United States as a terrorist cell? How long? 9/11 is literally the reason why you have a new branch or a new cabinet called Homeland Security. Let's get that shit straight, man. Let's get it straight. Let's get that shit straight. You got people, I mean, how many gang affiliated shit that we have in the United States right now? What about MS-13? Shouldn't they be on a terrorist list? I don't know what this new Argentinian gang is, Trend something. I forget their name, but makes you think, right? And here's the scariest part about it, right? A lot of these dudes speak Spanish and English. So how many countries can they infiltrate? If you're bilingual, the world's your oyster, man. Bilingual, the world's your oyster. So if you can speak multiple languages, where can you infiltrate? That's the scary part about the farm, especially to the average civilian. The average civilian doesn't even understand how much danger he's in. Don't worry, I gotta put this on YouTube because I've been terrorizing these motherfuckers just now playing Call of Duty. But you gotta look at how many people can infiltrate this country and be bilingual. So it's gonna be one of those things where you don't know who until it's too late. And that's the unfortunate part. That's the unfortunate part. Any more questions? I don't mind asking questions. Nothing's too political, I guess. Do you think a woman or your woman can do too much when it comes to seduction? Well, when it comes to seduction, seduction is supposed to look natural. You can't come off looking phony, man or woman. If it doesn't come off natural, it's going to look forced. It's going to look very phony. So that's the one thing about seduction. Not going to look very good if she comes off looking unnatural. So that's one way you could go about it. So I guess it's like if you try to come off being cheesy, if you came off being cheesy, women wouldn't like that, would they? No matter how hot and bothered you can be, if it comes off cheesy, nobody likes it. Nobody likes cheesy and easy, man. Nobody. You gotta appreciate the effort if she does try to seduce you, because there's a lot of times men don't even get that out of respect. So, out of that type of respect, you gotta realize that you may not get everything you get. You may not get everything you want. You may not. A few more questions for anybody else. So, yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna have more in depth and planned out shit to talk about next time. I'll definitely be on tomorrow. Today was really a little bit hellacious, a little bit more busy, but don't worry. I'm gonna give more thought provoking shit, more of a schedule. And I really do think that politically, we're doomed. We are doomed. Once we get our shit together, we're gonna be fucked, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Yes. No. 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 But till then, oh, I'm out.